The Switch 2 is too expensive. That's just the reality of it. I am so excited for this console, and don't get me wrong, I will be buying one day one, but the problem is, I think the price point is too high for a Nintendo console. And I understand that we are in this changing period where cost of living is high and everything is going up, but $700 here in Australia is very, very high for something like this. Particularly because Nintendo is such a family-friendly brand and a lot of its market is not hardcore gamers, but parents looking for something to buy their kids as a first introduction to gaming. And yeah, $700 in Australia is very, very high. There is a lot you could do with that money. Anyway, I think we should talk about this. What's up guys, Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm doing all kinds of Switch 2 content this week, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it. So I should reiterate that I am really excited about the Switch 2. I am going to do videos on Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanzas, but it is worth looking at the pricing here. The original Switch is one of the best-selling consoles of all time. I think it has overtaken the PlayStation 2 now, and I think there's a few reasons for that. I mean, of course, every game system is going to sell based on its software library, and the original Switch has some incredible games to sell on. I mean, look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Super Mario Odyssey, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Like, the list really goes on. And it doesn't feel like Switch 2 is going to be at any shortage of having fantastic Nintendo first-party games, which is what Nintendo consoles are generally all about. I mean, there's definitely this third-party support that is still coming in strong. Even games like Elden Ring are coming to Switch 2, which is awesome. The other reason the Switch 1 was so successful was because it was so innovative. Like, it was genuinely the first time you could take your console from the TV to handheld and play it literally wherever. I feel like maybe people under my generation, which is like millennial, mid-90s, don't see how incredibly revolutionary that was. I think you had to kind of be a kid in the 90s and early 2000s where you were like playing a Game Boy Color in the back of your parents' car on the way to some family event, and then your Game Boy Color's 2 AA batteries just die and suddenly you don't have a save game anymore. Or just wanting to play any game on the go. Like, the fact that the original Switch trailer featured a guy on the toilet playing Mario Kart says everything you need to know. But finally, and maybe most importantly, Switch 1 was really affordable. It was a pretty cheap price. Here in Australia, it was less than $500, I think, with a game packed in, which I think is definitely the going price for a console like this. And honestly, I really understand that Nintendo wants to make as much money as possible. That's literally the reason every business exists, and that's fine. But $700 is a hefty price point to sell people on, especially because some games are like both going to be on Switch 1 and Switch 2. I can see a lot of parents just being like, nah, we've already got one, we're not getting another one. The economic climate, at least here in Australia, has changed so much, and it's probably going to change more now that Trump is president. And this is what I find really interesting. Like, politics does influence gaming. Like, all of these different factors that we don't think about do influence the gaming landscape. But the moment when people are really just trying to save every dollar they can, interest rates are up, people need to spend more on bills, everything's more expensive, I think it's just not going to be easy to convince people to buy a Switch 2. And at the same time, Switch 2 doesn't bring the same innovation as Switch 1. It's just kind of iterative of the Switch 1. That is completely fair as well. Like, I think Nintendo needed to make this exact console, and there was definitely a highlight of all of the social features that the Switch 2 brings in, like the video chat and audio chat and game sharing, everything like that, which I think is really cool, but it's not really a system seller. And you could argue that having games like Elden Ring on the Switch 2 really help to drive sales to more hardcore gamers who might want to take these really big, bulky games on the go with them in maybe a downscaled version. Though I kind of counter that by saying the Steam Deck does exist and is very popular and is probably at a similar price point to the Switch 2. So I do really wonder how this will impact the sales of the Switch 2, especially when, at least at the moment, new Nintendo games wise, there's Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong. And maybe if those two things aren't your thing, maybe you're not going to get one. Hey guys, while I've got you, most people who watch these videos aren't subscribed. I'm trying to hit 10K subscribers by the end of 2025, and I really think I can do it. So please hit that subscribe button now. It would mean the world to me. I mean, Metroid Prime 4 comes out, and there's obviously other games coming like Kirby Air Riders and stuff like that, but I'm genuinely worried. I posted a short video over on my TikTok where I was talking about the price point, and pretty much everyone in the comments agreed with me and were really shocked at this price. Not to mention the actual games themselves are also very expensive. Mario Kart World in Australia is about $120. Donkey Kong Bonanza is about $110. And I think game prices just slowly increasing over time has been a huge problem in the industry. I think it's going to push more people towards like subscription gaming in the future. Like, I don't even buy PS5 games anymore. I just subscribe to PS Plus and play whatever the free games are each month. And to be honest, I don't mind that because I can get 3 games a month for like the $25 monthly fee instead of buying one game for like $120. I don't think this is smart from Nintendo, and maybe they do want to show themselves and really talk themselves up as true big competitors to the PS5 and Xbox, but to be honest, I think there's something completely different. I think the console price should come down. Maybe the games just have to stay the same, but I think $500 or $550 would be a really good price point for this thing that would get a lot of people in way quicker. Whew, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hey, if you like this video and you want more Switch 2 stuff, I'm about to do videos on Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for those. And I do a bunch of pop culture content on this feed, 90s millennial nostalgic content, so please subscribe to my channel. Comment below, do you think the Switch 2 is too expensive in Australia or wherever you're from? What is the price point in your local country, wherever you're watching from? I would love to know. If you can't think of a comment, but you want to help me out in the algorithm, and please do, by the way, then just leave a $sign in the comments below. That way I know you made it to the end and I know you agree. While I've got you, I'm all over the internet doing dumb stuff that I think is cool. I have a blog, I have a podcast, I do short form takes on TikTok as well. All the links are down in the description to the podcast, and YouTube thinks you might like this video here, but if you just want to binge watch a bunch of Nintendo content, there's a whole playlist of them right here, so do that. That is pretty much it from me. My name's Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind, and I'll catch you later.